It's so good to take a pause and to go within and ask questions. And this week, as I was in meditation, I asked the question, what is the significance that can happen as a result of what is the world going through? And one of the things that I've noticed is that the pollution levels in the world have gone down dramatically. 2 weeks ago, the most polluted air in the world was in the city of Delhi in India. And the pollution index there was 191. That's beyond the 50, which is normal, which is good. And then 2 weeks ago, that pollution level read 80. It had dropped more than half. And then another city in India, the same thing happened. Then I'm witnessing pictures that are coming from India where for the first time in 40, 50 years, they're able to see the Himalayas. There are parts of the Ganga River that were so polluted that now it's perfectly clear and they've deemed the water drinkable. This is not only happening in India, this is happening all over the world. So the world is changing. The question we've got to ask ourselves right now is, are we ready for this new world? Are we ready to realize that we cannot go back? The world as it was will never go back to that. It's going to be different. There's no other way to look at it. If you think we're just going to go back and we're just going to, we're going to start all over again, that's not happening. That's not happening. It's a reboot and means we've got to install new software into us. You see, one of the things that I don't know that we understand clearly is that we live in two worlds. We live in our outer world and we live in our inner world. And once we have control of one, and the other we have no control of. And the only one we have control of is our inner world. And what I've come to understand is it's so much easier to deal with the outer world when we're centered in our inner world. Because when we're centered in our inner world, no matter what's happening, we get to frame it or reframe it and see it from a different perspective. We get to discern how we observe it. But if we're not calm on the inside, if we're not seeing the balance in life from the inside, it's very, very, very difficult. We become victims. And what are people victims of? The outer world. When people do not understand that the power to see life, the power to control our experience of life is on the inside, that's when we become victims. But when we have that inside down, we'll never be victims again. Ever, ever, ever again. The outside world, which is prevalent everywhere, the key is it does not have to enter into our inner world. We are always at choice whether we let it in. Are you letting in the fear right now? Or are you knowing right now that you're whole and perfect? You know, I'm looking at it from the standpoint right now is that my world, while it has changed, it's still good. I've got a roof and shelter. I'm with my lovely wife, my son. I'm able to connect with my other sons and my granddaughter via technology. I'm able to connect with my community through technology. I'm actually speaking more now than ever. I'm doing guidedtation 7 days a week. I'm doing everything I love. But in order to do it, I had to change. I had to adjust. I had to adjust my inner world, my inner idea of how life should be. And when I did that, my outer world fell into alignment. Our job is to remain centered. And when we're centered, we can be in the moment. Remember, it's only here and only here, in this now, that we can be effective. We cannot change the past. And we can't change the future because we're not in it. We're in the now. So to be effective, We've got to become that person now. We've got to make the new decisions now. We've got to act now. Here's the one thing that really hit me this week is that reality changes based on the perspective through which it's being viewed. What is real for me is not real for anybody else. What is real for you is not real for anybody else, because everyone in the world has a different perspective. Do you get that? So when people say, you got to get real, what does that mean? What is real? You know, a 20-year-old tells me to get real. And I look at them and I just smile. I understand. Your reality is different. You have a different perspective. You're 20. Oh my God, you've got a different perspective. One of the things that I've come to understand is that it's never, ever, ever been more important to use our tools of meditation and directed thinking. And notice that if you've been listening to me for a while, there's a different twist I put in there. Normally, I would say spiritual mind treatment, I would say gratitude, I would say visioning, visualization, I would say works of forgiveness. But you notice how now I've got the term meditation, becoming still, rebooting, and then I've used the term directed thinking. Because isn't that what prayer is? Spiritual mind treatment. Isn't that what gratitude is? Directed thinking. Isn't that what visualization is? Directed thinking. Isn't that what building a belief is? Directed thinking. So we can take this, and what I'm doing now is I'm taking these spiritual concepts, and I'm taking them out of the spiritual realm, even though I can't because everything is spiritual. I'm making them really practical. And that's what I'm trying to get you to understand is, can you be practical and use these practical tools to change your life? To pause, be still, meditate. Twice a day is the ultimate. 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the later afternoon, early evening. 40 total minutes a day. And if you are sheltered in place, you've got the time. And then what you do then is you direct your thinking. What are you watching? Is it in alignment with what you want? What are you thinking? Is it in alignment with what you want? What are you declaring silently? Is it in alignment with what you watch? What are you studying? Is it in alignment with what you want? What beliefs are you building? Is it in alignment with what you want? You see, it's all about directed. Are you directing the thought toward that which you seek? Are you seeking ways to express and become more abundant? Are you seeking ways to express and become a better lover? Are you seeking ways to better self-accept? Are you seeking ways to improve your health, to improve how your body functions? That's where the challenge is. That's where the juice is. One of the things that I've come to understand in setting priorities at this time, that our job, number one, is to first take care of ourselves. And after we've taken care of ourselves, then we take care of our loved ones. After we've taken care of ourselves and our loved ones, and then we can begin to help others based on the capacity that we have at that time. I had to really sit back and break that down. Can I take care of people I don't even know if I have not yet taken care of myself and my loved ones? And the answer for me is no. But I can help others once I've taken care of myself and others. And I'll do that to the best of my ability. I'm doing that to the best of my ability. Whether it's through spiritual teaching, whether it's through emotional support, whether it's through counseling, whether it's through financial giving. But first and foremost, I'm going to take care of myself, my loved ones, and then I spread it out to others. But think about that. If everybody did that, there would be no void. Everyone would be taken care of. There would be no void. It's in times like these that we must stay centered and deal with our health and our finances to the best of our ability. Everyone's going to be different with respect to health. Everyone's going to be different with respect to finances. And those are the two things that are concerning people the most right now. Well, you've got to stay centered and do the best you can with what you got, where you are as you focus on that. Once you've done that, then we can ask, how can I best serve others? You know, no matter what our outer experience is, we must understand and embrace that our soul is unchanged and perfect. Did you hear that? Our soul, that aspect which is part of the infinite, is unchanged through all that. It's perfect. The problem that we face is that we've forgotten that we are a soul experiencing life. And we've identified that our body is who we are, that our mind is who we are. No, the soul has a body and has a mind to experience itself on the planet at this time. I think that's real important. I think that one of the things that I saw recently, and it really struck with me, and it was said that we're all in the same boat together. You know what? That's not true. We're all in the same storm together. And we're all in different boats. And so I think if you start to contemplate that, you'll understand where I'm coming from. The COVID-19, yes, we're all facing that. The boat we're in, some people don't even have a boat. Some people are holding on to a stick of wood and they're floating in the water and wood. Some people have a little raft, an inner tube. Other people may have a kayak, a rowboat. Some people may have a fishing boat, a ski boat. Some people may have a 36-foot bay liner where they can sleep in quarters. Some people may have a 50-foot sailboat. Some people may have a Jerry Jones yacht. And some people may be on a cruise ship. It all depends on the perspective that you are and where you are on the socioeconomic, on the spiritual awareness level, and where you are with respect to how you live your life. We're all in the same storm, but we must remember and have empathy that everyone is experiencing it differently. One of the things that I've come to understand is no matter where we are or what our condition is, it's a matter of doing our best with what we have. Eat healthy to the best of your ability with what you have. Handle your finances in the most integrity, doing the best with what you have. And then when you go to sleep at night, sleep deeply, soundly, easily, because you know you've done your very best. That's what it's about. It's only within our own mind that we can find and experience personal heaven or personal hell. And this is one of the things we have bought in. The greatest opioid, I believe, that's on the planet today is that heaven and hell happen to us after death. Through my life, I've come to put that aside and realize that that's nonsense. Heaven and hell are states of mind that we experience now. And only we have the control to discern whether or not we direct our thinking in ways to experience a heavenly state or experience hell. If you are in fear, you are experiencing hell. If you are at a sense of peace, you're seeing it from the observer standpoint, you're living in a state of heaven. One of the things I've come to understand is there's no better time to question core beliefs, core ideas than now. Because you've got the time to think for yourself instead of letting others think for you. So in light of that, I ask the question, are you ready for the new world? And I challenge you to ask this week, in order to be ready, what would I have to do? Who would I have to become? And I challenge you to begin it now. I want to thank you for joining us today.
I'm so grateful that you took your time to watch or listen to this message. If you found this message beneficial, I would ask that you go to our website, agapecsl.com. Once there, click on the donate button and experience the joy of conscious and purposeful giving. Or if you would like, text your gift by simply dialing 972-532-6976. It is through your gifts that we are able to bring this message to you in the world. I would ask that if you like this message, to please subscribe to my YouTube channel under my name, Lee Wolak. Again, I want to thank you for joining me in the Agape community as we learn how to better self-love through conscious living.